Older Pokemon games have a unique replay value that newer games struggle to live up to. One of the most beloved entries in the entire series is that of Pokemon Emerald. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob, and today we're going to find out if I can beat Pokemon Emerald without ever directly attacking. I'll only be using one Pokemon, and I won't use any items in battle other than held items. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to start with the Shroomish, as it's one of the earliest available Pokemon that can complete this challenge by using GlitchxCity on level 10. Without further ado, let's begin. Per usual, I start off with the value of a cardboard box and the sinking feeling that this game is about me running away from my negligent mother. I go on to pick up our Shroomish and suck the physical living energy out of this Zigzagoon, and then I bash its skull in with my Angry Mushroom. I can't officially start the run without getting my Shroomish to level 10, so I follow this weird dude to his laboratory. The helpless adult with an irrational fear of raccoons decides to let me keep his Shroom, and I go on to rename it. I have the game constantly sped up because I'm too lazy to click Shift and Tab to turn it off, and as a result, it becomes a challenge in and of itself to name her savior. So I just settle for S. This is not going how I anticipated. Before fighting May, I train S to level 10 so that I can properly take part in the challenge. However, partway through, I ran into a different sort of challenge. Doors. I then head north to take on May and Chicken Little, and the battle is as exciting as you would imagine, with my angry Shroom passively sucking life energy from Chicken Little, crippling it with paralysis, and then doing absolutely nothing afterwards. A lot of this challenge is just me spamming Stun Spore until something faints. I caught a Zigzagoon for pickup and somehow found the M and the O to name her Moo, after Shamoo. Isn't that cute? In the Petalburg Woods, I met my greatest challenge of all, being a small bug determined to dehydrate my mushroom. F you. Next up, I arrive in Rustboro and take on Roxanne before doing any training. Took her on about 5 times and lost every single time, as this Rockman is too much of a crackhead to feel the effects of paralysis. I gained 3 levels because I'm too lazy to go any further and took the gym on once again. A few lucky misses and less cocaine made the Geodudes much easier to handle. Afterwards came Nose Pass, and I will admit I was quite worried, as this is her ace. Luckily for us though, Nose Pass is straight buns. We just kind of went back and forth. The Leech Seed took care of it. Hit a couple rock tombs on me. I think it hit a rock throw. I don't know. I'm recording this after. But in the end, Roxanne was programmed in 2005, so she's kind of stupid, and S is a very resilient fighter. And just like that, we have our first badge. She gives me access to a useless HM and hands me a TM that I'll never use. I leave the gym in haste, fearing someone will recognize me as the missing kid from Little Root, and while rushing, I run straight into a light pole and watch the Flash play tag with another helpless middle-aged man. Working my way down the route, it seems like the Flash stole this old chud's Pikachu, so rather than calling the police, he employs the help of me, a 10-year-old. Hey, that ain't a Pikachu! Anyways, this guy gets kind of nervous, decides he's gonna fight me, like, hey bud, I'm the one running here, I don't know about you. But I beat the shit out of him, give Mr. Briny his Pikachu back, and give that one dude his goods back. After a little bit of meaningless exposition, I leave the Devon HQ, and a scientist rushes out to give me a cell phone, and he holds me hostage until I call his boss and tell him how good of a job this dude is doing at marking phones. Sounds like job insecurity to me. After that, I head south and go to the cut person's house just because I want to battle with his door, apparently. Afterwards, I run into the 85-year-old man whose Pikachu I saved and play cat and mouse and missing child with him. While traversing the Dewford Cave, I think about the fact that I'm nothing more than an intern for Mr. Stone. I'm unpaid, overworking, and I don't really understand how my work connects to much of anything. Regardless, I make it back to the first room, where there's a hiker who probably could have just hiked straight up this little wall here, but whatever, and I find Mr. Stone's weird kid standing in a rather conspicuous and perfectly carved room. He hands me another TM I'll never use and gives me his phone number. Not sure what the letter's about, but I suspect they're onto me. Next up is Brawly. The majority of this fight against his Machop went fairly well, but a bulked up karate chop turns S basically into mush, like a little sliced up mushroom or something. I don't know, man. I realized this battle wouldn't be very easy with his bulk up spam, so I headed to Slateport and beat up people on the beach who were just trying to enjoy their day. Came to the point where S wanted to become a kangaroo shroom, but unfortunately for him, Lil Shroom learns Toxic on level 30, so I blocked him. I went to the museum and paid $50 to save the world, as any philanthropic 10-year-old would do, and Champion Door gave us a short challenge. I then save another helpless middle-aged man, this time from an angry fish. And it was pretty easy. because he's just a bad fish. Unfortunately, I messed up once again and used Absorb right around there. So oops. Anyway, I have nothing to say about the Zubat that comes up here, so we'll just skip it. After this battle, their boss pops up, and he accused me of being a part of their rival moron group. Me, a 10-year-old, with an angry mushroom. So anyways, I talked to the middle-aged man, who I saved, once again, and on my way out, I leave a grunt to admire the oceanic displays for eternity. I also just noticed that I never went back into full screen after fighting Brawly, but whatever. Then we head on to the real challenge, May. Wingull seems like it's going to decimate us with Wing Attack, but after a couple turns, S's ability puts it to sleep, and it buys us some health. Unfortunately, it then wakes up and decimates us, so we come back again, and the second time around, we get smashed into oblivion, again, by her Seagull. I don't know what it has out for us. I wish it would F up or something, but it won't. We keep coming back to fight her because, I don't know, I'm a secret masochist or something. But this time around, things change. S goes down to 4 health after a wing attack, and rather than fainting, I just exit out because she doesn't deserve any satisfaction from beating me. That's literally all that changed. That was it. I'm honestly too lazy to grind levels, so I dropped a rare candy on S, and then I went back to Doofer to see if the levels I've accrued so far are enough to, whoop on Surfer Bro here. Side note, if doors were gym challenges, the run would be over, because I have successfully defeated every door that's gotten in my way. Anyways, I head up to Brawly, and I challenge him once again. Battle starts off as well as it possibly could, and I was actually fairly hopeful. Stun Spore worked well on Machop after one bulk up, and yeah, then that happened. Then I got karate chopped into oblivion once again. So the entire battle derailed, and then I reloaded the game because, I was going to try it again. However, I realized that I hadn't saved since I went to fight May. So that was mildly upsetting. Anyways, I went to go look at the map and realized that, I still have to go to Mauville, all the way up to Fall Arbor, over to Meteor Falls somewhere, and then back to Fall Arbor, down to Lava Ridge. But before I go to Lava Ridge, I have to go to a goddamn volcano and fight someone or whatever, then back to Lava Ridge to fight the gym, all the way down to, here-ish, right there, Petalburg, to fight my dad, Norman. After that, by the way, in between all of this, I'd have to do so much grinding, then go to Mauville, over to, over to Fortree, then I have to go over to Lily Cove, but after I go to Lily Cove, I gotta go to Moss Deep. Before I go to Moss Deep, I have to go into the water route and fight, and then after that, I have to go over there to a volcano again, then to Topless, and here and there and everywhere, and honestly, do I really want to be that person? Like, do I want to be known as the person that starts promising projects and quits? Is that who I am? Well, fuck it. I don't really care. Can you beat Pokemon Emerald without ever directly attacking? Yeah, probably. Can I? No, I got bored. That's it.